So I want to give this controller praise, but I'm too lazy to write an actual, what do you say, an actual review for it. I don't want to type anything out. So I'm just going to show you. It's a nice controller. It's very soft here, but it has nice textured grip on the back. I don't actually use these, the programmable buttons, because I actually think they're kind of pointless for most games, unless you're playing something like Apex or Terraria. Those are the two games I've actually gotten use out of them, because you don't have to sacrifice aim to click abilities and stuff like that, so you can actually do that. But if you're playing like an FPS game, where you're like Call of Duty, where most buttons besides reload and swap gun, you can crouch using the joystick, all that. These buttons on the back are very pointless. In fact, I tried pressing them, but whenever you press them, since you have to use force with a finger you're not used to, it'll actually shake your controller, and it makes it hard to aim and then like click the button at the same time. If you get used to it, it's easier, but it's not worth the effort. It's usually pointless. They're just kind of flashy. But the controller itself is very nice. The buttons, I love how you can program this, the stopping speed. So nice. It literally just makes your reaction time faster. It doesn't work on every game, because if your game involves driving and shooting, since, you know, like the driving, if you pull down the trigger a little bit, you only go a certain speed. That will actually, since you can't pull the trigger fully down when it's like that, if a game involves you to drive and shoot, you can't have your trigger all the way up, because you won't be able to use vehicles or drive. So that's an issue to worry about. Changing buttons around works very simple. All you do is press one button. I love the fact that it's plugged in. I save so much money on batteries every day, and it's really not an issue for me. My biggest concern personally is the aux cord, because if you look on a normal controller here, it has more than just an aux cord. It has, if I can pull this, right here. This little thing is so nice when you're playing on a controller. It is great. But that requires, I don't know, it's a special port on Microsoft controllers, which you won't be able to use on here. So this is nice because I can double my volume. I can literally have my game audio twice as loud as it normally is. I can mute myself with one button, volume. It's such a nice product. But I can't use it on this controller, which is really annoying sometimes. Other than that, though, this controller is great. The shape, it's hard to tell just by looking at it, but the shape is just, it almost looks identical from here, but it's like a bigger controller. It fits so much better in my hand. I thought Xbox controllers were great, but this one fits so well in my hand, it's unbelievable. But yeah, that's really my biggest downside is flashy buttons, because these don't help much in most games, and just an aux cord.